Hi, boys and girls. We are here to begin our daily read aloud. And today we are going to read more about spring. And so this book is really nice. It is called Up in the Garden and Down in the Dirt. Well, boys and girls, we know that what happens in the spring is the rain comes down and the sun comes out and starts warming up everything, and the flowers start to grow up from the dirt. Well, as the flowers are growing up from the dirt, guess what? There's things happening down under or in the dirt too. So this book kind of talks about those things. It's lots of fun. It is called again Up in the Garden and Down in the Dirt. And it is by Kate Messner, and the illustrator is Christopher Silas Neal. So let's get started. I like this picture. This picture is showing carrots and basil and tomatoes, potatoes, pumpkins, blueberries, all kinds of different things. We have cucumber, corn, zucchini. All of these are vegetables that, and fruit, because tomato is a fruit, vegetables and fruits that grow in the ground that people can plant for their gardens, and then they can pick them and have fresh vegetables and fruits. Let's see. All right. Up in the garden, I stand and plan, my hands full of seeds and my head full of dreams. So as you look at this picture here, notice that there's not a lot happening. It looks like maybe winter has ended or close to ending. I can see that this little girl has a hat and a scarf and a coat on and stuff. And I also notice in the picture that these are called flower beds. And these flower beds look like they have gone asleep to sleep or died during the winter, and that they need to be refurbished or redone. All right, so let's see what's next. Spring sun shines down to melt the sleepy snow. Wind whistles through last year's plants, and mud sucks at my rain boots. It's not quite time, Nana says, down in the dirt. Things need to dry out and warm up. What's down there? I ask. All right, so even though this is happening up here, you see the trees are starting to bud and the birds are out singing. Nana is saying it's not quite time yet because underneath the dirt it needs to start drying out and warm up a little bit. And the little girl's curious. She's like, what's down there? So let's see. Down in the dirt is a whole busy world of earthworms and insects digging and building and stirring up soil. They're already working down in the dirt. And boys and girls, earthworms like this right here, even though they're crawly and creepy to me, they actually are so, so important to help the soil, because as they dig, it creates oxygen in the soil so that plants can grow stronger. Up in the garden, we snap brittle stalks, scoop rustly armfuls, and wheel away weeds for the chickens. So they have to clean up last year's garden. Now that winter is over, they're having to clean up last year's garden and get it ready for the new season. While they squabble and scratch, we spread compost over the soil. Down in the dirt, pill bugs chew through last year's leaves. Now, these here they call pill bugs. I've heard them called something else. I think it's potato bug or roly-polies. That's right. They roll up tight and hide in plated suits of armor, roly-poly round. So that's what we've always called them, are roly-polies. And you see they're underneath, down in the dirt. And up here we have the flowers and the rabbit. And the old leaves from the fall are starting to decompose back into the dirt. Up in the garden, it's time to plant. I trail a furrow with my finger and sprinkle seeds in a careful row. Give them a drink, Nana says. We put them down to snuggle in the dark. So when it says that she trails a furrow with her finger, if you look at this picture here, she has made these lines with her finger. And in those lines, she is going to put the seeds and then water them. Down in the dirt, a tomato hornworm rests, waiting for wings, and the leaves where she'll lay her eggs. Up in the garden, carrot plants sprout. Pea blossoms bloom. Wasps are on the prowl, and honeybees visit legs loaded with pollen. So as you can see this picture, can you tell what fruit this is growing? It's a carrot. These are carrots growing, and you see the earthworms are all underneath. They're all in the dirt, and they're digging those holes and helping oxygen move through the soil. And then the carrots actually grow under the ground, and this is what you see on top of the ground. I weed and wilt in sun so strong, even Nana looks for shade. What that means is she says the sun is getting hotter and she's getting hot. So up here, she's getting hot because the sun is shining directly up here. But down in the dirt, earthworms are still tunneling deep. And it says, I'm jealous of their cool, damp, dark down here. So as you can see down here under the dirt, it's actually damp, kind of wet, and it's dark because the sun doesn't really shine there the way it does on top. And it is cool, so it's not as hot. Up in the garden, rain shower. Nana turns the hose on me. Eee! All right, so you see here they fixed their flower beds and look at them now. And here the buds are not just buds anymore, they've blossomed. I hide behind the cucumber vines, but their leaves can't save me. I shiver and laugh, drenched in Nana's rain. Down in the dirt, water soaks deep. Roots drink it in, and a long-legged spider, stilt, walks over the streams. Can you find the spider? Is this the spider right here? And what do you see in the dirt? You see the bugs down here? And the roots down here from the cucumber vines? Up in the garden, there's so much to eat. The ladybugs feast on aphids. These little bitty tiny bugs that you can hardly see are called aphids. And ladybugs love to munch on aphids. This looks like a tomato plant. Nana crunches green beans. I bite a ripe tomato, warm from the sun, and juice dribbles down my chin. Down in the dirt, a robin's beak finds a cricket, a beetle, a grub. Slugs are scrumptious too. That's why you always see birds pecking and picking in the dirt because they're getting those bugs that are yummy to them underneath the dirt. Up in the garden, we pick cukes and zucchini, harvesting into the dark. Bats swoop through the sunflowers, and I pluck June bugs from the basil until it's time for bed. So we've gone from spring to summer. It's summertime now. Down in the dirt, skunks work the night shift. Ooh, stinky skunks. They shuffle and dig and gobble earth. They goggle worms while I sleep. Up in the garden, a praying mantis wakes to hunt mosquitoes. So, boys and girls, the praying mantis is right here. Can you find the ladybugs too? How many ladybugs do you see? Nana sprays away the aphids, and I'm after grasshoppers. Ready to swoosh, but snap! Someone else finds it faster. Someone else is faster. Someone else got that grasshopper. Can you tell what it is? A snake. Down in the dirt, a smooth, shining garter snake crunches on supper. Up in the garden, the wind grows cool. Pumpkins blush orange now. It's getting to be near, in our book, it's getting to be close to autumn or fall, and pumpkins are growing. We think of pumpkins around like Halloween in October, and that's the fall. Nana ties them together to build a house for reading. Down in the dirt, an orb weaver spins her web. What do you think an orb weaver is if it's spinning a web? Do you know what it could be? I bet this is it. It's a spider, and it looks like it's spinning the web and it's catching the moths. Do you see the little moths in her web? She'll munch on moths tonight. How many moths do you see? Up in the garden, colored leaves litter the squash vines, and we know the cold is coming. Hurry, hurry, and harvest. There's enough for the neighbors too. Down in the dirt, frantic ants gather what we leave behind. They're storing food for cooler days ahead. So now the seasons have gone from spring to summer, fall, and they're getting ready to get everything ready and out of the ground for winter. Because nothing grows in the ground in wintertime. Up in the garden, frost draws lace on leftover leaves. So frost happens outside when it's really cold. The secret egg sacs hang waiting for the warm sun to return. And we say goodbye, and the winter blanket is spreading. What do you think falls in the winter time to create a blanket on the ground? Snow. Down in the dirt, beetles burrow. Ants scurry home. Earthworms curl tight in the dark. They're still all in the ground, even in the winter. When Grandpa calls us in for soup, an autumn moon is rising, and autumn is fall. Up in the garden, dry cornstalks tremble, and the wind smells like winter. But the long, ripe days of summer still rest in the garden beds. The ladybugs and bumblebees, earthworms and ants are hunkered down, hiding, bidding their time. So they're all in the dirt, getting ready to stay warm for the winter time. They're dreaming of sunshine and blossoms and sprouts, which we know happens in the springtime. Under the bare arms of trees and the blanketing snow, a whole new garden sleeps down in the dirt. I hope you enjoyed this book. I think that it's lots of fun because it goes through all of the seasons, and it really just kind of helps us not only to see what happens on top of the ground, like what we see, but it talks about what happens underneath too. And I hope that maybe soon you all will get to go outside and find some of those earthworms too. I hope that you enjoyed this book, and I will see you again tomorrow.